Hello, welcome to our celebration of the 4th of July. I am Kayleen Asbo, and I want to present to you today the collaborative work of 24 arts activists. They are of different religions, ethnic backgrounds, and sexual orientations. We range in age from 9 to 86. But we are all members of one human race, united in our deep yearning for a better future. Today, we offer you a chorus of voices that includes words of courage and vision echoing from the past, along with images of those who have worked and fought and sometimes died for the dream of America. These are woven with our own words of lamentation and longing as we try to bridge the aching gap between the reality of what America is right now and the unfinished dream of what it could be. A dream that has inspired so many countless millions of people throughout its 244-year history. We are the descendants of immigrants. Our mothers who were children imprisoned in Auschwitz. Our fathers who were tortured by Nazis for their role in the resistance. Our grandparents who fled the potato famines in Ireland and religious persecutions in Russia, all of them coming to Ellis Island with dreams of freedom bigger than their small suitcases. And we are also those who hold the memory in our veins of ancestors sold into slavery and smuggled in crates across a dusty border on the back of a truck and herded onto reservations after walking the trail of tears. People who found that liberty and justice were not really meant for all, no matter what the Declaration of Independence said. We are also the parents and grandparents who cannot sleep with fear for the safety and the very lives of our biracial grandsons and our transgender granddaughters. And we weep with sorrow for our beloved Mother Earth and all her creatures as we together face an uncertain and often terrifying future. Today, we offer you a declaration of interdependence, an acknowledgement that what happens to each one of us leaves an invisible but indelible imprint on our collective soul. For the air that we breathe and the silence that we keep can destroy us all. COVID does not ask for a green card. And climate change does not care about your religion or your sexual preference. Along with the flag today, we offer you a tapestry. There are threads that will name the pain before us, behind us, and within us. There are threads that call us to wake up and to be responsible and to care for each other and our fragile earth home. And there are words running like a golden thread throughout the centuries that remind us of the beauty and the goodness and the truth that has been the unfinished American dream. There are parts of today that might challenge you. We hope that it will also inspire you to write your own declaration, to find your own voice, to become part of the chorus for change, for harmony, for peace. It is up to all of us what happens in the days to come. It is up to us whether we will continue to reap the bitter harvest of division and enmity, or if together we will awaken to our interdependence and cultivate a garden for the future that will bear the fruit of life for future generations. I want to invite you to place your hand on your heart. And I want you to call to your memory the memory of those who first in your family set their feet upon this shore. And say their names. Say the names of your parents or your grandparents or your great-grandparents. Or maybe you can just say the ones that we have forgotten. Because there are so very many names that have been lost, that have been forgotten, that have been erased from our textbooks and our history lessons, but also from our human hearts. And part of the restoration of our world is this act of remembering, of putting together the things that have been broken and torn apart and dismembered, and gathering them together as one body, as one body, as one body. So now, connected to your own dear heart, I invite you into a journey of remembrance of your own ancestral line. Say aloud the names of your parents and your grandparents and your great-grandparents as far back as you can remember, of those who had a dream of America, that this land would be the land of the free and the home of the brave, that this was the place of their dreams too. For Iran, for Steiner, please join me saying the names of your own family. For Evelyn, for Theo,
for Beatriz,
Annie Augenblick,
Amos,
Robert
for
Myers,
Edimundo, for
Rich,
Serafín,
for Marie,
Sylvia,
Anna,
Augenblick,
for Edimundo,
Jean,
for Josefina,
for Ruben, for Emil,
ones whose names we no longer recall.
For John, for Grace, for George, for English,
for all the ones who came to the shore with their dreams and their hopes. It is a collective dream, this not so united States of America. And today we wish, in this act of profound solidarity and unity, to invite us to remember and to let the light in. My beloved Carl Schiedenhelm is going to light 13 candles in front of this flag. And as he does so, it symbolizes two things. The 13 original colonies, yes, but also the 13th Amendment, that number 13 that has so many meanings. In some tradition, it symbolizes the lunar calendar of the feminine, which has also been so cut out of the world. So in the lighting of these candles, I invite you who are watching from your own homes, if you have one, to get a candle of your own, a candle in which we can light together, all of us, in solidarity. And as we do this, we see that the image of this flag is actually only the beginning. And that there are parts of the story that have been cut out, that have been lost, and that will now peek through and shine in ways to call us to remember those who have come before us, and to also hold in our hearts memory that there are so many of those who will come after us, who desperately, desperately, desperately need our light and our love. So please, if you have one, take your candle and hold it tenderly, tenderly in your hand, remembering those who have come before you, their sacrifices, their dreams, their hopes, their foibles, their frailties, the messy business of being human, but also remember the light and the life that they have given to you. in the hopes that your life might flourish and shine. I wish to present to you now the artists, poets, prophets, activists, humanitarians, and seekers of justice who have come together for this day. And like the good fairies in Sleeping Beauty, they will offer a birthday blessing for America as they light their candle. And I invite you, wherever you are, to light yours as well, and to say aloud what you hold in your own heart as a wish for our troubled country.
I am Aaron Abeyta, and my wish for America is mercy.
I'm Diane Frank, and my wish for America is joy.
I am Doug von Koss, and my wish for America is integrity.
Can you move yours a little towards the center, please? A little center.
I'm Gloria Rees, and my wish for America is bridging.
I'm Jessica Driver, and my wish for America is compassion.
I'm Karla Bravo, and my wish for America is sovereignty.
I am Khaleghl Quinn, and my wish for America is love.
I am Loretta Diane Walker, and my wish for America is selflessness.
I am Marcela Mejia, and my wish for America is igualdad, equality.
I'm Nkem Ogbuji, and my wish for America is hope.
I am Paloma Pavel, and my wish for America is liberty.
I am Richard Page, and my wish for America is truth.
I'm Rosemerry Wahtola Trommer, and my wish for America is open-heartedness.
I am Sylvia Timbers, and my wish for America is union.
I am Tawanna Benbow, and my wish for America is humility.
I am Uche Ogbuji, and my wish for America is reflection.
I am Vicky Semones, and my wish for America is kindness.
I'm Zoey McKenzie, and my wish for America is balance.
I'm Lucas Smiraldo, and my wish for America is honesty.
As some of our wishes weren't heard, I want everyone to be included. So Bob and Hari and Tawanna, make sure you're unmuted and let us hear your voices as well.
I'm Bob Rees, and my wish for America is grace.
I am Tawanna Benbow, and my wish for America is humility.
And Hari, I know that Hari's wish in his heart was for freedom, even when his computer is frozen. May all of our wishes come true for America, and may your dreams come true for America. My wish for America is that we remember, that we remember, that we remember. And one way that we remember is by calling on the traditions of the people, the first people of this land. So I present to you two of my dear friends, Dr. Khaleghl Quinn and Dr. Apela Colorado. Dr. Quinn will offer an acknowledgement of the land, and this will be followed by an invocation and a prayer by Dr. Colorado.
What an honor to be celebrating the beauty of our interdependence today. Many thanks to Kayleen's love and vision in bringing us together. It is such a great time of awakening and transformation. May we remember the land upon which we sit and upon which we are now living. As I reflect upon my Native American heritage, which includes Blackfoot and Cherokee nations, I am filled with gratitude for the Native traditions that viewed humanity within the context of what two others describe as the natural world. Today, we are meeting on a lunar eclipse, one that relates to the mother, the father, and family, and the integration of these archetypes into our societies. Eclipses call for a global integration. This land belongs to all First Nations that have suffered brutal genocide, colonization, rape, and all manner of desecration. People are still plagued with the glaring residual trauma of such atrocities. In order to effect the real healing that will lead to true transformation, we must acknowledge and embrace our Native sisters and brothers. We must listen to their pain and find ways to promote the reparations that cultivate healing that may lead each to fulfillment. Let us take a few deep breaths to give oxygen to our beautiful event today as we seal the edifying bridges of our interdependence as a great family on a great land. Please breathe in love, breathe out hope as I recite this native chant. Where we sit is holy. Holy is the ground. Forest, mountain, river, listen to the sound as great spirits circle all around us.
Thank you, Khaleghl. Dr. Colorado, it is our great honor to ask you for a blessing and invocation. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Grandmother Oluya, Grandma Moon, the shadow of the earth slips across your face, imparting a message. The words for survivance. In the darkness, in the still, the hush of the birds, the sound of the crickets, something moves. There's something moving, the spirit in the darkness. The vowels, the words, the consonants, the sounds that bring together the worlds In this time of separation, the result of earlier horrors to humanity that fragmented us into a million pieces and now exalted today by leadership seeking to profit from the separation and the knife that cuts uncleanly. In this moment of horror, there's also the velvet touch of love, of whispering, of the folds of Mother's veil. We ask for your blessings today, Creator, ancestors standing in the shadow, that we hear the voice of Mother Earth moved across the face of our grandmother Moon. Each of us in this call has a gift of word, vowels that move, consonants that connect, poetry, the way forward, the way to bring the upper, the lower, the inner, the outer, the dualisms together. Why? That we might remember the song and the sound of our creation. For this possibility, we give thanks. Ah, Mama, oh, I know. Amen, all my relations.
May our words today, the ones that follow, call us to this journey of remembrance. Call us to a journey of honoring those who have gone before us in their moments of sorrow and their moments of hope, and call us to a future rich with dreaming and possibilities and renewal and rebirth. We will begin with our poems, each one recited by one of our beloved members of our community. But before we hear the words of those, we acknowledge the names of the tribes of this land. Uche, will you please offer us the naming?
Thank you. Thank you, Khaleghl. Thank you, Dr. Colorado. With your wise words, I would sit here situated in the formerly free lands of the South Arapaho, the Ute, the Cheyenne, but I think I ponder those names that are more in the colonizer's mind than in the indigenes. Justice begins with truth, and truth begins with names. So I prefer to say not South Arapaho, but Hinononeno, not Ute, but Nuuchi'u, not Cheyenne, but Tsetseetsatse. I prefer to continue. I prefer to say Dine, Nde, Newe, Winnik, Salish, Hopi, Ashiwi, Pikuni, Lakota, Dakota, Nakota, Tsatsen, Teini, Kohoguwe, Banakut, Nuunchiu, Hinononeno, Tsetsetatse, Absoloke, Katunaksa, Kulispe, Shitsuums, Sekenedene, Niitsitapi, Sixikawa. So many more. I continue. Nimi, Numa, Sulix, Maya, Nahwa, Bensa, Mefa, Tsotsil, Nimi, Puailept, Nehian, Usavi, Hashuta, Enema, Nato, Raramuri, Winikatel, Tachihuin, Nyanyu, Aya Ukje, Tsajujmi, Kutsiputi, Tsilokotin. There can be enough room for our many in this great land, but let us earn our space by having the grace to stand with indigenous genius where the bald eagle calls, interceding to heed the peoples who are elders to us all, with respect for justice, with respect for truth, with respect for their tongues, with respect for names. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Uche. We begin now with the dreams of America woven with images of the first peoples. We will tell the story together in unfolding ripples throughout time in different voices of the shadow side that needs to be brought to light. and then we will come up on the other shore to the land of hope and promise that is still yet to come. Karla.
I would like to share these words by Inuit Nalungiak. The poem is titled Magic Words and translated by Robert Bly. In the very earliest time, when both people and animals lived on Earth, a person could become an animal if he wanted to, and an animal could become a human being. Sometimes they were people, and sometimes animals, and there was no difference. All spoke the same language. That was the time when words were like magic. The human mind had mysterious powers. A word spoken by chance might have strange consequences. It would suddenly come alive, and what people wanted to happen could happen. All you had to do was say it. Nobody can explain this. That's the way it was.
Diane Frank.
In the Native American tradition, our planet Earth is called Turtle Island. Turtle Island. What if the world was created by a giant turtle swimming across the sky at the beginning of time? What if the turtle carried dreams in her belly, giving birth to fish and stars? What if the high-flying tern marked the world lines of space and time with nets of aurora borealis? What if the donkey said, the humans are a joke, spinning through space, juggling fire and ice? What if the crab said, crawl sideways if you want to uncover the dreams that are painted inside of shells? What if the moon said, the night will tell you secrets if you listen to the music inside of stones? What if the shark said, you will discover fish that glow like lanterns in deeper currents of ocean water? What if the octopus said, your dreams are tentacles into a future filled with fish and golden apples? What if the turtle keeps swimming out of the sky to a universe hidden somewhere else? What if the buffaloes stampede with their ancestors across the Great Plains under an ocean of sky? Buffalo Woman says, the world is a dream or nightmare. Weave your visions with tender hands.
Loretta Diane Walker.
Variations on Glory. A tired wind rests in the clear lap of day. In the gentle arms of evening, Old Glory's stars and stripes still above the courthouse, its colors becoming shadows in the escaping light, its meaning radiant even in the growing darkness. How do we hang it from the poles of our hearts when the battle is not with steel or blade, rather with the struggle to reach for someone or something when turmoil is enemy? How does Earth, with all of its credentials, decide which plaque to hang on its boundless walls? Isn't this glory? The throated composition of hummingbirds, delicate art of a field of wildflowers, dissonant chords of crowing roosters, the dew-soaked lining in the translucent purse of morning? What of the season's revolving door, the way flames of autumn leaves scorch the horizon, how winter's cold scaps the maple, the oak, and weeping mulberry? In their bare beauty, they exalt themselves with stiff raised branches. See the delight of the embarrassed grass when spring restores its yellow blades with green dignity. Isn't that glory? For those born of woman, how do we rejoice in the fertility of our flesh? How do we meld our voices to amplify the volume of unity? What wild passion will make us blow the horn of revelry? Isn't this glory? To feel the deep pond of our days with amazement, to feel the feather breath of God in a handshake.
Vicky.
Rekindle your spirit. How will you rekindle your spirit this new day? Stir the cold ash of our dismembered actions. For what will you hunger at dawn's relentless rise? Seek the warm ember of our neglected kinship. Will you sense the breeze of life lift you from slumber? Breathe an ancient breath upon the cinders. Will you awaken at the sight of God's rainbow of light? Feel the fervor of the gathering glow. Will you be humbled by a pulse beyond your will? Remember the companionship of the hearth. A prayer rises from the ash, ignites the smoldering flame, warms the sacred hearth. Oh, ineffable essence, thinking the world into existence, reach into the soul of our being, which contains you, is you. Enfold us in your unwavering embrace. Draw us away from self-delusion. Release us from ego suffering, fear, hate, impatience, doubt. Eternal dreamer of the all, open us to the sanctity of all life and the wonderment of one another. Silent companion of our personal journey, clarify us one by one. Exalt us to the revelation of your soul in every being, in every moment. Connect us to the core of your consciousness. Center us in tender harmony with your grace. Guide us in the renewal of our spirit.
Marcela.
I'm sharing these poems both in English and in Spanish. Yo no soy yo, by Juan Ramón Jiménez. Yo no soy yo. Soy este que va a mi lado sin yo verlo, que a veces voy a ver y que a veces olvido. El que calla sereno cuando hablo, el que perdona dulce cuando odio, el que pasea por donde no estoy, el que quedará en pie cuando yo muera. I am not I. I am not I. I am this one, walking beside me, whom I do not see, whom at times I manage to glimpse, and whom at times I forget. The one that remains silent, serene when I talk. The one who forgives, sweet when I hate. The one who takes a walk where I am not. The one who will remain standing when I die. Through the Green Door by Homero Arigis. I am an undocumented from the eternity. Without papers, I have crossed the time borders. Detained by the immigration agents of birth and death, I have jumped into the day's chessboard. Shrewd customs officers searching for valuable memories have rummaged among my shadow's suitcases. Nothing to declare, nothing to regret. I have passed through the green door. Soy un indocumentado de la eternidad. Sin papeles he cruzado las fronteras del tiempo. Detenido por los agentes migratorios del nacimiento y de la muerte, he saltado en el tablero de ajedrez. Aduaneros sagaces en busca de recuerdos de valor, cado en mis valijas de sombras. Nada que declarar, nada que lamentar. He pasado por la puerta verde.
Kayleen, we need you to unmute.
My dear friend Benjamin Mertz wanted to be with us here today, but he could not be in two places at once. So he recorded Frederick Douglass's speech for us, which I am privileged to play and wish to share with you now.
Hello, my friends. My name is Benjamin Mertz. I'll be performing an abridged version of the speech given by the incredible abolitionist Frederick Douglass for the 4th of July holiday in the year 1852. Mr. President, friends, and fellow citizens, this is the 4th of July. It is the birthday of your national independence and of your political freedom. This to you was what the Passover was to the emancipated people of God. Feeling themselves harshly and justly treated by the home government, your fathers, like men of honesty, earnestly fought for redress. They were peacemen, but they preferred revolution to peaceful submission to bondage. They were quiet men, but they did not shrink from agitating against oppression. They showed forbearance, but they knew its limits. They believed in order, but not in the order of tyranny. They succeeded, and today you reap the fruits of their success. The 4th of July is the first great fact in your nation's history. I am not included within the pale of this glorious anniversary. Your high independence only reveals the immeasurable distance between us. The blessings in which you this day rejoice are not enjoyed in common. The rich inheritance of justice, liberty, prosperity, and independence bequeathed by your fathers is shared by you, not for me. This 4th of July is yours, not mine. You may rejoice. I must mourn. Fellow citizens, above your national tumultuous joy, I hear the mournful wail of millions. America is false to the past, false to the present, and solemnly binds herself to be false to the future. But I fancy I hear some of my audience say, you and your brother abolitionists failed to make a favorable impression on the public mind. Would you argue more and denounce less? Would you persuade more and rebuke less? But I submit, where all is plain, there is nothing to be argued. What point in the anti-slavery creed would you have me argue? On what branch of the subject do the people of this country still need light? Must I undertake to prove that the Negro is a human being? Is it not astonishing that while we are plowing and planting and reaping, erecting houses, constructing bridges, building ships, working in metals and brass, iron, copper, silver, and gold, that while we are reading and writing and ciphering, acting as clerks and merchants and secretaries, having among us lawyers and doctors and minstrels and poets and authors and editors, orators, teachers, feeding sheep and cattle on the hillside, living, moving, acting, thinking, planning, living in families as husbands, wives, and children, and confessing and worshiping God, that we are called upon to prove that we are human beings. Would you have me argue that a black man is entitled to liberty, that a black woman is the rightful owner of her own body? What then remains to be argued? Oh, had I the ability, I would reach the nation's ear. I would today pour out a fiery stream of biting ridicule, blasting reproach, withering sarcasm, and stern rebuke. For it is not light that is needed, but fire. It is not the gentle shower, but the thunder. We need the storm, the whirlwind, and the earthquake. The feeling of the nation must be quickened. The conscience of the nation must be roused. The propriety of the nation must be startled. The hypocrisy of the nation must be exposed. And the crimes against God and man must be proclaimed and denounced. What to the American Negro is the 4th of July? I answer, a day that reveals to him more than any other day of the year the gross injustice and cruelty to which he is the constant victim. In the language of Isaiah, America might well be addressed. Bring no more vain oblations. Incense is an abomination to me. The new moons and Sabbaths, the calling of assemblies, I cannot away with. It is iniquity even in the solemn meeting. Your new moons and your appointed feasts my soul hateth. They are trouble to me. I am weary to bear them, and when ye spread forth your hands, I will hide mine eyes from you. Yea, when you make many prayers, I will not hear, for your hands are full of blood. Seek judgment, relieve the oppressed. Cease to do evil, learn to do good.
Doug.
A lyric we all know well. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring. Here's an abolitionist version of that song written in 1843. My country, 'tis of thee, stronghold of slavery, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, where man's rights deride, from every mountainside, thy deeds shall ring. My native country thee, where men are all born free, if white's their skin. I love thy hills and dales, thy mounts and pleasant vales, but hate thy Negro sails as foulest sin. America the beautiful, oh beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves and rain, for purple mountains' majesty, above thy fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. May it be so. May it be soon.
Lucas.
When I was invited to this gathering, I knew I needed to share something new, and that it needed to be informed by this moment. In 1921, a massacre occurred in Tulsa, Oklahoma. African Americans were attacked, and the Greenwood district was destroyed, which was known as the Black Wall Street. I thought of that as potentially a map that spontaneously appears on white bodies, including my own, as an expression and an affliction of confronting the past and being honest with ourselves about what we need to do in this moment to address that. And that is what inspires this piece. It is a rash. I am certain of it. This firing of my skin, the spontaneous tattoo that crawls beyond the small of my back, these grid lines packed between the breastbone, and I am told a faintly centered single word is charring into focus. Greenwood. Along the district of my spine, and an acrid waft of turpentine, all at once afflicted at 1921, military time. People are not their maps and legends, are they? My skin is my union, I shall not wander, my skin is my union, I cannot water the rivulets, they've strangled the fire hoses in Oklahoma with no wind to bring the rivers down. And there are fires everywhere in so many cells and nothing to cool my tendons, and those arterial streets are burning. My fever dreams? 60 armed black men in guttural haste coughing out, "We will defend ourselves against 1,000 guns and the plummeting catastrophes of air support." So what does a single bullet do against so much hate in massacre formation? I am the legend now. I thought I could choke this city from my tongue, spit it out like snuff, saliva, waste of word, but I am all throat and plunge now, an elevator swallow and two adolescents trapped within it, a young black man with shoe shine to his name, and a young white woman hired to pull the lever. The doors squeeze shut. And when they have their spat, and when this prison opens, and when he pulls her arm, and when the tug is witnessed, and when the white is given a story for the nooses, and then I hack this gargle from my teeth, and I will call it Tulsa. He can never outrun this. There are not enough streets and alleyways, not enough north, left, and with every breath, another killing, over and over and over again in ligature and kerosene, now within the range of my epiglottal smile, every silence of omission, every public legend burying the original atlas. But history has a way of finding our fingertips, of looming on the outskirts the way black people did when they were driven from the center district until one generation is cornered in their DNA. And that is me. And that is you. So do us all a favor and look at yourself. Look at the legends you tell and the ones that you hide. Look at the generations of your landform bodies and the cities that are rising there. When the cities that are rising there with stories you don't want to hear. And watch them harden into ink that will not feed until we speak the names. So many names. We cannot celebrate the liberty of one and not for all. We cannot hedge our allegiances. Open your bodies, my people. Open your bodies. Open your bodies. Open your bodies. Open your bodies.
Bob.
I too, my Langston Hughes. I too sing. I too sing America. I am the darker brother. They send me to eat in the kitchen when company comes, but I laugh and eat well and grow strong. Tomorrow, I'll be at the table when company comes. Nobody will dare say to me, eat in the kitchen then. Besides, they'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed. I too am. I too am America.
Zoey.
Hands on the wheel to Winter Rock. I watch red sandstone cliffs and I imagine our world underwater. Iodine tells us Navajo land was once covered by vast, deep blue seas. I watch the cliffs and I imagine octopi darting about, sucker tentacles sticking to red rocks. I look up into the wide turquoise sky and I try to imagine water, miles high. Fort Defiance with school zone lights that flash hour after hour. I thought those were only supposed to come on when kids were out and about. I slow to 15 anyway, even though there isn't a child in sight, and I sit at the junction with my blinker blinking, 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 and I read about so-and-so that's gonna do such and such to someone else. Spray paint screams from our children, listen to me, I have something to say. Left turn towards our nation's capital. I look at Thriftway on the left with plastic bags partially embedded into a furrowed parking lot and a public restroom that rarely works. Around and up the hill, red, white, and blue flutter in the wind. Just a quick glance, afraid to peel my eyes off the road line so faded and covered with dried mud that one could argue that if they were ever even painted on at all. And our tribal leaders are having lunch at the end, and everyone is looking at everyone without actually looking at anyone, with secret handshakes and covert games and smiles that aren't really smiles. When I speak, I wonder, do they think I'm playing their game? Do they think my words are encoded and encrypted with secret messages to bring them down? And I wonder if they're trying to send me a secret message, but I'm just too Winter Rock illiterate to comprehend. I smile at someone and I watch them search their memory banks. Friend or foe, friend or foe. Which office do they come from? Does this person owe me a favor? A painted Navajo geisha teeters by on someone's arm with layers and layers of lipstick red and white foundation that ends at the neck to reveal true skin brown. A fragile tower of hairspray heels and polyester jacquard. Secretaries, I heard a council delegate once say. This is our capital. Are these our leaders? Talking, whispering, and furtively glancing, laughing, boastful, loud, fry-bread belly laughs in Western shirts and cowboy boots, and the room reeks of Old Spice and mutton grease. And I wonder if these leaders were once little children with humble dreams to better our nation, to lead our people strong into the 21st century. And I try to remember them saying those words, thinking those thoughts. And then I wonder when that ancient ocean of hope dried up.
Uche.
I'm going to start with a poem, the ending of a poem by Marilyn Chin. 19th Amendment ragtime parade. Warning, nitwit legislators, gerrymandering fools, dimwit commissioners, judicial tools, toxic senators, unholy congressmen, halitosis ombudsmen, mayoral tricks, doom calf demagogues, racketeering mules, whack-a-mole sheriffs on the take, fornicator governators, Raquel collaborators, tweeter impersonators, racist prigs, post-bellum agitators, hooligan aldermen, profiteering warmongers, reconstruction dregs. Better run, rascals. Better pray. We'll vote you out on Judgment Day. Better run, rascals. Better pray. We'll vote you out on Election Day. The second poem is by me. It's the second half of a poem that you can find on YouTube called Easy Words. And here's part from the second half of Easy Words. You're running on easy words and tally your own suffering, but can you make an inch for the perspective of other beings? Can what you know of pain help you to recognition that learning the pain of others is never an imposition? Can what you know of pain bring you to solidarity with women in India or Nigeria who are scared to be alone with men whom they meet in the regular everyday, with women who work double for 60% of pay? Can what you know of pain teach you to heed the children who say when you scorch the environment, you leave them nothing to build on? While you pervert the science and label the warnings a hoax, you won't be around to deal with the ecosystems you broke. Can what you know of pain help you to understand your neighbors of Asian descent, treated like a gang of virus traders, doubly dissed? And who are you to be seeking scapegoats or assuming your fellow citizens just jumped off a migrant boat? Can what you know of pain help you to celebrate that love is love in all its emerging forms that are not yours to approve of, to accept that the way others find truth in their own skin might branch from the simplistic path where your beliefs begin? Can what you know of pain help you to honest empathy with indigenous elders whose wealthy land this was meant to be, learning the truth of the peoples that colonialism swallowed? Then they were looted by the states in the Guadalupe Hidalgo. You're running on easy words, old ideas of what it means to be strong, because easy words don't teach you to accept that you could be wrong. You're running on easy words, old ideas of what it means to be strong, because easy words don't teach you to accept that you could be wrong. Thank you.
Paloma and Richard.
In the words of Langston Hughes, what happens to a dream deferred?
Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun?
Or fester like a sore and then run?
Does it stink like rotten meat?
Or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet?
Maybe it just sags like a heavy load.
Or does it explode? Or does it explode?
Tawanna.
You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room? Just like moons, like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard, 'cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyards. You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the hut of history's shame, I rise. Up from the past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I am a black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling. I bear in the tide. Leaving behind the nights of terror and fear, I rise into a daybreak that's wondrously clear. I rise, bringing the gifts of my ancestors, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise.
Aaron.
Bones of my people. I am here where the faces become a two-lane road. One whispers east to the testimonial light of new day. The other tugs me west toward the dying red sun of our past. Bleached and forgotten, the marrow of my people's bones has become a map to the mesmerized romantics who do not listen to the whisper of their hollow, voiceless stare. They ask when we begin running as a means to slim our souls, when it was that we became so like the red sun that sets upon our walls. How it was that we sold what had just been stolen. And they ask that we not love the new more than we hate the old. They whisper of the oldest bones that are my people. They say, these bones are reminders of life, life that was or will never be again. This is what the bones say. They remind us that we are as flesh to them as they are marrow to our souls. They beg that we never forget who we are. Wild Peace by Yehuda Amichai, translated by Shauna Block and Stephen Mitchell. Not the peace of a ceasefire, not even the vision of the wolf and the lamb, but rather, as in the heart, when the excitement is over and you can talk only about a great weariness. I know what I know, how to kill. That makes me an adult. And my son plays with a toy gun that knows how to open and close its eyes and say, Mama. A peace without the big noise of beating swords into plowshares, without words, without the thud of the heavy rubber stamp. Let it be light, floating like lazy white foam, a little rest for the wounds. Who speaks of healing? And the howl of the orphans is passed from one generation to the next. As in a relay race, the baton never falls. Let it come, like wildflowers, suddenly, because the field must have it. Wild peace.
Sylvia.
This is a revision of the Star-Spangled Banner written by Francis Scott Key in 1814. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what once proudly we hailed is revealed to our sight? We bear witness. We are better than this. We cry. We cry. Whose broad stripes and bright stars above trails of tears, or the ramparts we watch all the slaughter and fears. We bear witness. We are better than this. We cry. We cry. And the rocket's red glare, The bombs bursting in air gives proof that the lies our flag hides are still there. Oh, say, when will the star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? We are better than this. We cry, unbreakable spirit, unite us. Oh, say, can we see when free and equal stand between our beloved home and history's desolation? We are better than this, we cry. Unbreakable spirit, unite us. Blessed with healing and peace, may our heaven-rescued land praise the power that makes us one and equal, a nation. Unbreakable spirit, unite us all. Then unite we must. Peace, our cause, it is just. And this be our motto. In God is our trust. And the star-spangled banner in light and love shall wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Gloria.
Interracial, written by Georgia Douglas. Interracial by Georgia Douglas Johns, written in the 1920s. Let's build bridges here and there, or sometimes just a spiral stair, that we may come abreast and sense what cannot be expressed. And by these measures can be found a meeting place, a common ground nearer the reaches of the heart, where truth revealed stands clear, apart. With understanding, come to know what laughing lips will never show, how tears and torturing distress may masquerade as happiness. Then you will know when my heart's aching, and I when yours is slowly breaking. Commune, the altars will reveal. We then shall be impulsed to kneel and send a prayer upon its way for those who wear the thorns today. Oh, let's build bridges everywhere and span the gulf of challenge there.
Jessica. This poem was written in solidarity with the protesters for Black Lives Matter. Not all tears are an evil. Let them flow forth from the corners of your soul. Let them roll into all cracks and crevices. Let them heal like the balm of an oil. I cannot lie that my heart is not broken, that it is not caked with the mud of my fear. I am weak as those around me keep falling. All are pierced as the oppressors leer. I dare not say that I've braved the same storm, that I carry hurt from generations before, but I rejoice as you break from the shackles, and I will follow while wielding my sword. I can see the light at the horizon, blinding others, yet giving us strength. As we march into battle, always remember, we must anoint with love all who we face. Brothers and sisters, let me call to attention. Though we trek towards the eyes full of hate, we must open our hearts ever wider.
till compassion is the last thing they taste.
Hari.
Song of the Universal by Walt Whitman. Come, said the muse, sing me a song no poet yet has chanted. Sing me the universal. In this broad earth of ours, amid the measureless grossness and the slag, enclosed and safe within its central heart, nestles the seed perfection. By every life, a share, or more or less, none born but it is born, concealed or unconcealed, the seed is waiting. Lo, keen-eyed towering science, as from tall peaks the modern overlooking. Yet again, lo, the soul above all science, for it has history gathered like husks around the globe. For it, the entire star myriads roll through the sky. In spiral detours and long detoured routes, like a much tacking ship upon the sea, for it, the partial to the permanent flowing. For it, the real to the ideal tends. For it, the mystic evolution, not the right only justified, what we call evil also justified. Forth from their masks, no matter what, from the huge festering trunks, from craft and guile and tears, health to emerge, and joy, joy universal. Out of the bulk, the morbid and the shallow, out of the bad majority, the countless varied frauds of men and states, electric, antiseptic, yet cleaving, suffusing all, only the good is universal. Over the mountain growths, disease and sorrow, an uncaught bird is ever hovering, hovering up in the higher and purer air. From imperfection's murkiest cloud darts always forth one ray of perfect light, one flash of heaven's glory. To fashion's customs discord, to the mad babbled in, the deafening orgy, soothing each lull, a strain is heard, just heard, from some far shore, the final chorus sounding. Oh, the blessed eyes, the happy hearts that see and know that guiding thread so fine along the mighty labyrinth. And thou, America, for the scheme's culmination, its thought and its reality. For these, not for thyself, thou hast arrived. Thou too surroundest all, embracing, carrying, welcoming all. Thou too, by pathways broad and new, to the ideal tendest. The measured face of other lands, the grandeurs of the past are not for thee, but grandeurs of thine own. Deific faiths and amplitudes, absorbing and comprehending all eligible for all for immortality. Love, like the light, silently wrapping all. Nature's amelioration, blessing all. Blossoms, fruits of ages, orchards divine and certain. Forms, objects, growths, humanities to spiritual images ripening. Give me, O God, to sing that thought. Give me, give him or her I love, this quenchless faith. In thy ensemble, whatever else withheld, withhold not from us belief and plan of thee, enclosed in time and space. Health, peace, salvation, universal. Is it a dream? Nay, but the lack of it the dream. and failing it, life's lore and wealth, a dream, and all the world, a dream.
Khaleghl.
Earth angels. Earth angels are people who embrace the human divine hybrid of all of our natures, whose intent is to bring love and beauty, harmony, justice, healing, art, and unity into the world and into every circumstance in which we find ourselves. Each of us here, all of our wonderful panelists are Earth Angels, as are all of you who've taken the time and brought your will to listen to the greater reality. Just like a baby stands up for the first time, is beckoned by that magnetism of the heavenly part of us. This is what Earth Angels is about. It's from my book, Reclaim Your Power. It is actually the manifesto of the secret art of maximizing your potential. Earth Angels. It was no longer a secret. In many ways, they were like the dynamic yet peaceful atmosphere they emanated. Loving, radiant, warm. They always seemed to be in the right place at the right time. These were the people who had remembered with courage to listen to their hearts, their intuition, to treat others with kindness, to turn their ideas into action and their dreams into reality. Mutual welfare and respect, benefit was their salutation. Crisis equals opportunity was their motto. Because life was revered as the most potent force, they never feared the shadow of death. So strong was their spirit that everywhere they went, they inspired others with luminous integrity, an integrity that gently spread loving mists of encouragement through the layers of amnesia, which kept each around them from the memory of their true destinies. They inspired others to be led by the contents of each of their hearts. They moved others to stretch their minds and to cultivate physical and mental elasticity. This was not a fairy tale. No woolly-headed idealist were they. They gained their resilient strength from swimming upstream through years of confrontations, through their transmutations of personal traumas and fears into beautiful flowers. They dared to be different, and they opposed society when it helped uplift everyone. But most of all, they gained their resilient strength from penetrating their aloneness, their all oneness. These were the ones whose lives were rich with painful experiences, ones that had gracefully flowered into self-knowledge, power, and compassion. These were the ones who, before they moved on into other dimensions, remembered to reclaim their power whilst on earth.
Rosemerry. Rosemerry will also read a poem that she just wrote yesterday for this event of the 4th of July.
Thank you, Khaleghl. This is certainly about maximizing your potential. Big. This is perhaps the year to learn to be big. Spruce tree, big. Cliffside, big. Big as mesa. Big as mountain, lake. Big as in cosmos, as in love. Being small has never served me, trying to fit into someone else's room, someone else's shoes, my own name. Let this be the year to escape all those little rules with their little shoulds, all those little cages with their little locks. It's time to make of the self a key. Time to lean into immensity. It's time to supersize communion. Time to think beyond the self. Time to open, to unwall, to do as the universe does, accelerating as we expand. Not reaching towards something else, no, but redefining the scale of space itself. This is the year to be big. Dear America, for your birthday, I'm sending you the sunflowers in my garden, which is to say, I send you something unfinished, something with so much room left to grow. America, I send you the space above the sunflowers, the space they will reach into you. There is so much promise of beauty in you, America, so much blossoming yet to do. America, you're right if you think this is symbolic. So I send you the sunflower's roots too. We all know what happens without them. America, here's what I most want to say. I believe in you, America, and all the hands that tend your soil. Happy birthday. It's time to get out of your own shade. Happy birthday. You've got this, home of the brave.
Nkem, our youngest poet.
Some people are big, some don't judge people. Some people are big, some people are small, but honestly, I'd like to honor them all. Black, white, tan, brown. Large, thin, skinny, plump. We're all the same, no matter what. Love each other in and out. Take care of them, not just yourself. Old, young, teen, adult. Bullied or nerd, cool or not, hurt or not. Police, mom, dad, dog. Boy or girl, man or woman, new or old. Respect each other, nice or not.
All right. Ready?
So I am thinking.
Thinking.
Time ticking.
Ticking.
By, I ponder.
Don't you wonder?
Not sure why this happens.
Sad things, sad things.
But I know I try not.
Bothersome thought.
To think, but how it's on all media.
Weirdly interesting.
Reading, insane, this is not okay.
I want to shout, I want to say.
But
I just can't help.
I can tell it happens anyway.
Make it stop, I pray.
Just put down the gun.
Peace under the sun.
And leave us alone
at work or at home.
Our skin is not a weapon.
Nope.
But how do we make that known? I don't know. Don't know why.
I'm not sure.
4th of July. I want to feel proud, but
maybe
what if
I don't.
How do we
Hope.
avoid the bitterness?
Hope.
Change our tone
Hope.
by bringing hope.
Hope. Hope.
H
Hope.
O
Hope.
P
Hope.
E
Hope.
hope. Bring us hope. Fix our world and help them within ourselves. We believe in this world.
Help
it can
them make a change.
Make a change.
Slow.
A new America, baby. Get ready.
I'm ready.
To those of you who are listening, I invite you to just put your screens so that you can see everyone. So you can see this quilt, this American quilt of faces, young and old, black and brown and white, Jewish and Baptist and Mormon and Celtic and Gnostic and Presbyterian and Episcopalian and pagan and indigenous, and all these beautiful faces before you. Each one of them who has brought their hearts to you as a sacred offering, saying, here are my dreams. And I invite you now to take your own hands to receive them, to take your own candle of light and hold it to your own dear heart. Hold it close to you and think of what you have seen, what you have heard. And if you are willing to share in the chat box what is kindled inside of you as we lead you with this last writing. In the year 2000, a council of Hopi elders met about the state of the world. And these were the words that they said.
You have been telling people that this is the 11th hour. Now you must go back and tell the people that this is the hour.
And there are things to be considered.
Where are you living?
What are you doing?
What are your relationships?
Are you in right relation?
Where is your water?
Mow your garden.
It is time to speak your truth.
Create your community.
Be good to each other.
And do not look outside yourself for your leader.
This could be a good time.
There is a river flowing now, very fast.
It's so great and swift, but there are those who will be afraid and they will try to hold on to the shore.
They will feel they're being torn apart and will suffer greatly.
Know the river has its destination.
The elders say we must let go of the shore, push off into the middle of the river, keep our eyes open and our heads above the water.
And see who is in there with you and celebrate.
At this time in history, we are to take nothing personally, least of all ourselves, for that the moment that we do, our spiritual growth and journey come to a halt.
The time of the lone wolf is over. Gather yourselves. Banish the word struggle from your attitude and your vocabulary.
All
All
that we do must be done in a sacred
manner.
And in celebration.
we
are
the ones
Waiting for.
We are the
ones.
We
are the ones.
We are the ones.
We are the ones.
We are the ones.
We are the ones.
We are the ones.
Waiting.
Thank you so much for being a part of what has ended today. We cast these seeds out into the world, hoping that they will find their way to become something that will blossom, that will grow, that will bury their roots into the depths to become from the seeds of this 1 hour and 30 minutes together. May they grow as tall as the redwood trees. This is our declaration of interdependence. We wish you a happy 4th of July and blow these blessings like wishes on a birthday cake out into our country.